Good morning, everybody. Do you ever get angry? Did you actually realise that anger can be a good thing if it's used in the right way? And that's what I want to talk about this morning on a moment of reflection. So my name is Mandie Cran, and I've been doing these moments of reflection for about 5 years, really with the aim of helping you to take a moment out of your busy lives and see the world through slightly different eyes. Please like and share as we go through, and if you think there's anybody that would really benefit from what I'm talking about today, then please do forward it on to them. So the quote for this week is, "Don't get mad, get even." Now, I have to admit, I have a really, really bad temper. It takes me a very long time to lose it, but when I lose it, it really, really does go big style. And I can be angry for 4 or 5 days, I mean, just absolutely steaming. And people know to avoid me in that time. So I've had to learn to really control that over the years, because it isn't something in the workplace that goes down very well. So I've had to learn to work really, really hard on that. And therefore, I've sort of thought quite a lot about anger over the years. So I thought I'd talk about that this morning. Now, if we just rewind a little bit and talk about the body's mechanism, I'm sure you've all heard of adrenaline and the fight or flight syndrome. Well, the body is designed, one of its primeval parts of the body is designed for survival, and the fight or flight mechanism in that has 2 hormones associated with it. One is adrenaline and one is cortisol. And the idea is that when the saber-toothed tiger comes along, your body pumps adrenaline and cortisol into you, slows down the food processing, takes it all to the muscles so that you can run faster and escape the tiger. Once you've got to safety, then those hormones dissipate again and the body returns to normal. And therefore, the body's only ever been designed to take those hormones for short periods of time, for a very, very specific threat, like the saber-toothed tiger. The thing is, in this modern day and age, an awful lot of us are stressed in more varied degrees pretty much all the time, whether it's extra pressure at work, it's extra deadlines, it's commuting to work and getting stuck in traffic, it's been railway system letting you down yet again, whatever it might be. Most of us are stressed in varying degrees, and therefore those 2 hormones, and particularly cortisol, which is what I want to talk about, is in your body at varying levels virtually all the time. And what's really interesting is it's been proved that 60% of all illness is caused by stress. Now that's a really, really worrying figure, because actually we could help 60% of illness by people being in a better place stress-wise. But that's another subject for another day. So thinking about cortisol then, one of the ways, as it builds up and builds up in the body has to get rid of it. And if it can't run away from a saber-toothed tiger, it'll get rid of it another way, and one of it is getting angry. And if somebody has been picking on you at work, you know, that very sort of slight, never quite enough in any one episode to make it look like bullying, but actually overall, you know, builds up to bullying in the long term. That's the sort of thing that will build and build and build, stress level wise, and then suddenly you'll snap, and the body says, I need to get rid of all of this, and you'll lose your temper. So there's 3 ways really that you can deal with anger when that happens. The first one is that you can lose your temper at the person who's picking on you and give them exactly what you think about them, which can be extremely satisfying in the short term, but probably isn't really an answer for the long term. The problem is that if you get mad at them, they'll get mad at you. You end up with tit for tat going back and forth, and then the atmosphere around you gets unpleasant, and nobody's ever prepared to admit they're wrong, so it goes on and on and on. And sometimes it can go on for generations, things like family feuds going on, and that's not really a place that you want to be. That doesn't do anybody any favours at all. So satisfying though it is in the short term, I've learned not to actually take it out on the person who's made you mad. The second thing you could do is to take it out on somebody completely different. So for example, when you get home from a bad day at work, you then take it out on the family. Well, that's a really bad place to be actually, because it's not fair on them, they don't deserve it, and frankly they won't put up with it for that long. They might on the odd occasion, but they certainly won't in the long term. So you can't do that either. So how can you actually get rid of that anger, but still in a way that's going to make you not feel like the underdog and the person has had a go at? Well, first you need to get rid of the cortisol, and there's lots of ways of doing that, but the 3 that I would recommend first is physical activity. And certainly for me, if I get mad, then the first thing I do is I go for a very long, very fast walk with a dog, or I get on my bike and I belt around the countryside as fast as I possibly can and really burn up that energy very, very effectively. And that makes a massive difference to how I feel afterwards. So physical activity is a proven way of lowering the cortisol. It goes back to the old running away from the tiger again. You know, you've done the activity, so you don't need the cortisol anymore. Another way to get rid of it is various types of relaxation, meditation, yoga, anything like that, anything that's calming, because obviously you're getting back into a calm phase, having been in a stressful phase. And the third one actually is laughing, which I think is a fantastic thing. So get one of your favourite movies out, sit down, have a really good belly laugh, and that will definitely help. Once you've got that, got rid of the cortisol, then you need to think about how you're going to get even. And I don't mean get even in a nasty way. I mean in a way that you keep the moral high ground, but proves to the other person that they were completely wrong, or they're completely inferior. So it might be proving to them that you're better qualified than them, or that you've got a much better way of expressing things, or you're much better organised, or you're a much nicer person, whatever it might be, but proving by your actions rather than your words that you're a better person than them. And people around them will also notice that and will give you the credit for it and say that they were wrong. Because the English language is a very variable language. It depends on how you say things and how you phrase it as to what you mean. And people can so easily misinterpret words, but they can't misinterpret actions. So by you proving you're better than them, that's what I mean by getting even, that puts you in a much stronger place in so many ways. So that's what I'd recommend. And while in the short term you might feel like you're on the losing end, in the long term you'll definitely be on the better end and be in a much better place, and people will certainly thank you for it. So see, anger is actually a good thing. It's a good thing for getting rid of stress, lowering stress levels. But when you do get angry, physical activity, laughter, meditation, something like yoga, and then plan how you're going to get even in a good way. And hopefully as a result of that, you'll feel in a much, much better place and much more in control of what's happening to you. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Mandie Cran. People come to me when they realise that they need to make changes in their life if they want to have better health or quality family time in the years ahead. If that sounds like you, then let's talk. Contact me here. Or you can email me on mandy@thebuzzgroupbemore.co.uk. So next week I'm going to be talking about success, so do join me then, live 10 o'clock on my Facebook page, The Buzz Group Be More, and have a great week.